Hello and welcome to the 100th, believe it or not, the 100th episode of Fur, Fins, and Feathers. Today I am joined by my brother, Glenn Lowney, who has produced the show from its inception, and Mallory Aronstein, who is our town administrator in Swansea, and I am so honored to have you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. This is a surprise to me as well. I'm thrilled. I learned a little bit more about your show, and I'm happy to be here to celebrate your 100th episode.
And it is taking off and doing very well.
Yes. So today we have a couple of certificates for both of you just to recognize the contribution to our community and what you offer. And I'm told that your show is replayed throughout the country.
It is.
Putting Swansea on the map. And it's just so exciting to see you in action here. So this is just a quick
Thank
small
you so
certificate.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I can't wait to learn more about this and be more involved here. This is so fun.
I am so very honored.
So am I.
Good.
And we're going to keep you here this afternoon.
Yes, it's exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess I can begin by saying that I started as a writer at the Fall River Herald News. I had always wanted to write, and I had the opportunity to work at the Herald News as a freelance writer and write a pet column, and then moved on to the Standard Times in New Bedford. And as you know, the newspaper industry kind of dissolved, and then we just started Adam invited us. Adam Kitchen has been fabulous over there and has invited us to try it out. And now, today, 100 episodes.
That's right. In 5 years. 5 years later, you tried it out, and it's great. It's so fun.
We survived COVID, a long stretch of COVID that we weren't able to come into the studio, but we're going again.
Good. It's just so nice to sort of highlight just our special residents here and what we have right here in Swansea. It's just incredible who you meet and who you come across. And you were telling me that many of your guests are local residents.
Many of them have Swansea roots or still live in Swansea.
Yes.
And they are able to share their talents and their many contributions.
And that's what cable access is really all about, is really just giving back to the community and keeping the community informed about what goes on right there in their hometown. It's important. As a government official, we wholeheartedly rely on cable access to, as you know, with the print media really just disappearing, it's gone. It's so difficult for us to engage our residents and tell them what's going on and inform them of key, very important items coming up on agendas and town meetings. So we really do rely on all the work that Adam does. I echo that. He's excellent and always there for us to help us share what's going on in Swansea. We're a busy town.
And we've always, well, I guess Glenn, I would think, is the person who was very active with our cats.
Yes, I was.
What'd you do?
Mom had cats.
Our mother had cats since we were small. Mm-hmm. And the pet situation in the Lowney household suddenly, gradually shifted over to Brian's show dogs.
We got a dog, a Kerry Blue Terrier, and Glenn took care of the cats with my mom, and we had a Kerry Blue Terrier, and that took off too.
What kind of cats did you have?
Anything, strays.
Oh.
We were the original rescue people in
love
Swansea.
That. So even just doing good work, even from a young age.
Of course, Swansea changed. We didn't have a lot of many more houses than we do now.
Right.
And my mother was always not bothered, but worried about the number of mice in the area. Yeah. And she always said, we need a cat. So my mother kept a string of cats.
And they did work for you.
And they were working
Yes.
cats.
So my mom actually bred cats when I was little, but they weren't outdoor. She bred them. They were ragdolls.
Ragdolls.
Yes.
Beautiful.
We've had
Yes.
someone with
No.
ragdolls on.
Yes.
Fascinating
They're
breed.
lovely,
Lovely
lovely,
dogs.
lovely animals.
So, we've had some wonderful 100 episodes. We've had dozens and dozens of really interesting and fascinating guests.
And no repeats.
No.
Like,
well,
it's
yes,
been
we
t-
have had repeats because they brought in a new topic.
So that's what I should say. No recycling of ideas. It's
No
always
recycling
been,
of ideas.
It's been
Never.
new content, which is so unbelievable when you really think about it. And you've reached 100 in a short period of time, just 5 years. So that's really excellent.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be on the 100th episode. I feel
So
kind of
am I.
special about it.
So am I.
And people have always said to me, "Are you going to keep going?" And I say, "Oh, yes, we are."
Good.
Because you can always find interesting topics and meet new people. And
That's
people are very, Mallory, people are very willing, and Glenn will agree, are willing to share their love of animals
I
and their ideas.
I agree. They bring us together, don't they?
Yes, they
They
do.
do.
It builds community.
Absolutely. And I'm sure, well, I don't know this, but has our animal control officer been on this show at all?
Yes, Lisa
So
has.
she's wonderful.
Lisa has been on.
Yes, so knowledgeable, and our
Several
shelter's
times.
great. Our shelter has cats all the time. It seems to be constantly mom and
We are
cats
very
having
lucky
kittens.
to have some really wonderful people like Rick Rico has been to talk about fish and amphibians, and now worked in the
Fire department?
fire
Yes.
department. Excuse me. Yes, in the fire department, and is now working at Tufts University in
The veterinary.
the veterinary program in Grafton.
Wow.
And fascinating man. And we've had several guests from Swansea who have come with turtles. We've had them come with fish, tropical fish, and they're always willing to share. And the important thing, I think, that many people say, if we can only inspire one guest to develop a new hobby or develop a new interest,
That's all. That's
That's
all they
all
need.
it
That's the
takes.
goal. And even just awareness, Like I never grew up with any turtles. I'm fascinated by them, and I wouldn't even know what to do if I have 2 little boys. If they came to me and said, "I found this turtle, I want to keep it," I don't even
Rick
know.
Rico sat one afternoon here on the show and talked about his love of amphibians and turtles, and he was fascinating.
Yes, that's great. They
And
usually
this
are.
is a Swansea resident.
Our roots are really just transcend the boundaries. It's very nice to showcase our town residents. It's really nice to be here.
And local residents, too, that live in Rehoboth and all over the area. And the Cape. I was the president for many years, for 2 years rather, of the Wampanoag Kennel Club in Acushnet.
That makes me think, I think our conservation agent is, I don't know the type of dog she has, but she showed dogs as well. Colleen, has she been here?
Colleen
And Brown.
was sat there. Colleen did a show with me, and she talked about her great love of Newfoundlands.
Finland.
And she was, the day we had her, was with Gail Zorowski, who Gail passed away right after
sorry.
the show was aired, maybe a few weeks later. But we had a fabulous discussion. Gail lived in Swansea on Cedar Avenue and had Cocker Spaniels and was very actively involved in obedience. And Colleen is very active in obedience.
Yes. And she has, I believe, won awards. I haven't.
She has won many
she's
awards.
amazing. So that's exciting.
Colleen she's a very brilliant lady.
She certainly just has a wide array and scope of interests and brings a lot to the table.
She does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who else have we had from Swansea? We've had Jeff Patello,
Jeff Vitello.
who is both of our physical therapists.
Oh.
But Jeff works at owns the practice at Mount Hope in North Swansea, at Mount Hope
Physical therapy.
Physical Therapy, and Jeff has taken his border collies all over the world.
Those are beautiful dogs.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Jeff has been on and talked about his love of the border collie and his work in agility and his training and everything. And people, you know, as I just said, one person sparks the interest of one person. We've accomplished our goal.
Exactly. I totally agree. Like, this makes me want to talk about my dog. But
Tell me about your
So
dog.
my dog is, she's 2. She is a French bulldog. I sort of I've always wanted one, so I splurged on
Frenchies.
it. And they're the best dog. Literally, they're just happy to sit on your lap. She's lovely with my 2 sons. She's just lovely. She's a great little addition. Had a little house training issues with her, and she's, you know, when she's got to go, she's got to go. But other than that, no complaints. She's an absolute doll. We call her Dottie.
And what color is Dottie?
She's a pied, which is, she's black and white, but she's got like the black on her eye with a little, she's dot because she's got a dot on her side. A little circle,
And I
perfect
bet
little
she's
circle.
a wonderful family pet.
She is, and my sons are 9.5 and 6.5, and completely smitten. They love Dottie, and we fight over who sleeps with her at night. Really,
Another fabulous guest that we had was Dave Rose. Dave's mother was his teacher and my teacher at the Gardner School.
Oh my
Sixth
goodness.
grade.
6th grade. I love the way far back these relationships go, which is so indicative of a New England town, but that's exciting.
Mrs. Rose she's still living. I found out she is still working. You know, she's retired, of course. I wouldn't tell you how old she is, but Dave tells me she's in great condition and everything. We loved Connie Rose, and Dave came on and talked about alpacas.
Oh, that's fun. Was there an alpaca here in the studio?
No.
No.
No, he didn't bring an
No.
alpaca, but he brought some.
Pictures.
He brought some pictures and
Okay.
photos and stuff, and talked about he's got 85 alpacas on
Oh my
his
goodness.
property on Bark
Bark
Street.
Right. What would you say is the maybe most unique pet or animal that you've showcased in your 100 episodes?
What do you think, Glenn?
Probably one of Bob Shank's animals.
Bob Schenk owns Animal Instincts in Fall River,
Oh, okay.
and he has what I call and we're very good friends. Bob has a traveling road show, and he came twice or 3 times, and came in and brought a menagerie of animals, and he'd reach down and pick something up and
Oh my
explain
goodness.
it, and we were fascinated. He had snakes crawling over
Oh,
me, and
no
it was
thanks.
really fun.
I don't know. I don't know if I do well with the snakes.
Austin Tavares.
Austin Tavares lives in Swansea,
Swansea.
and he came with
Amphibians.
amphibians and creepy crawling things.
Like a spider or
spiders and things.
Oh my goodness.
Austin was great, and
Elaine Malone with her horses.
Elaine Malone and Diane Farias, who are both local, and Diane lives in Swansea, and they are horse trainers, and they came and talked about horse caring for horses and horse management, and who else? Diane was fabulous.
Donna Aruda.
Donna Aruda,
Yes.
who works at
Project Spay.
Yeah.
Project Spay. We grew up with Donna in the neighborhood, but Donna has talked about Project Spay and the work that she does in Swansea.
This is a wide breadth of talent just coming on, and it's so varied.
And
it's
the
amazing.
thing, Mallory, is a lot of these people live right in Swansea. and are so, as I say, I don't want to keep repeating, but they want to share, and they have so much to offer.
Oh, I absolutely love this. I love that it's right in our backyard here in Swansea. And, we had discussed earlier that I hope you come to a selectmen's meeting so we can recognize the two
I
of
would
you.
be very honored.
Yes, for your contribution, not only, putting Swansea on the map, but being such an awesome place for people to
I've
come
got to
and
get
share.
Bob on here with Henry.
Yes. Henry is a Portuguese water dog, as you corrected
me. Who is so
me.
handsome.
Yes, he's a sweetie. He comes to all of the events, so if you come to a local event, you'll probably meet him. But he's become a little bit of a mascot, I'd say, that he's always with Bob.
Who else have we had that was fascinating? Oh, they've all been great. The cockatiel lady.
The cockatiel lady. Oh, what was her name?
Was from North Swansea.
Yes, she had Loretta the cockatiel.
Oh, I love the name.
Loretta.
I love the name.
Loretta, and I'm missing her name.
She was on a second or third episode.
But she came, and the cockatiel. It wasn't a cockatiel, it was a cockatoo.
Two.
Different. The cockatoo Loretta was fascinating. And she came over and she perched all up and down, and she talked to me, and she was out looking around and everything. And the funniest thing is, as the show concluded, Loretta decided to go to the ladies' room, and it ran down all over me, and I was just getting ready to leave to go to the doctor.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel like you can't have a show about animals without having that happen to you.
So
a little bit of a rite of passage.
I had to run across town, quickly shower. Thank God I had good clothes, a good change, and got to the doctor. And when I ever told the doctor, he was hysterical laughing.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. That's so funny. Who was your first show?
Our first show was
the McMillan brothers, who had a Saluki.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
A different kind of Afghan hound.
Oh,
Saluki,
I think I know them. Okay, yes.
A shorter coat and a different structure.
Because the Afghan hound, is really long. I've seen one.
This was thinner and shorter, but fascinating. And these guys were two brothers, and they were our first guests. And they went on to do many good things in dogs. They were both involved in junior showmanship, which is handling kids, the dogs for kids. And they went on and did quite well. And they both graduated from high school, and they've gone on with their lives and careers and stuff. But that was our first show.
And did you ever? Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. They graduated from Bristol Aggie.
I love Bristol Aggie.
We are proponents of Bristol Aggie.
That's another thing, Mallory. Yeah. We've had many people. We've had them come from Norfolk Aggie. Mm-hmm. We've had them come from Bristol Aggie. And they all are so energetic.
Yes, those are two gems. That just to have those really right in our backyard. I mean, it's so close by in our corner of Massachusetts. We're pretty lucky to have that as. And Swansea is quite the sending community to Bristol Aggie. There's a number of students that go there, so we're taking advantage.
And gone on to wonderful, wonderful careers.
Absolutely. And
I'm going to put a plug in for one of the people that was on the one episode. That was when I started teaching. I taught bilingual education. I was an art teacher.
Oh my goodness.
I had a young student who had just come from the Azores.
Oh wow.
And he eventually, I lost touch with him because I went on to other things, and he went to Bristol Aggie, and he worked at a farm with his father in Westport. And his father, I believe, wanted him to work with cows and pigs and everything. But the people at Aggie had different plans for him. He is now a world-class veterinarian.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm getting chills.
And Nuno came and did two segments here, and I was so honored. He became a veterinarian in Dartmouth and then went to work at Becker College, and now he is running the equine program at UMass Amherst.
Oh my goodness, what a career.
And he's only 35, a little older, years old.
Wow. And
But
the graduate
local
of Bristol
roots.
Aggie. Absolutely. That's amazing. I love hearing stories
And
like
we've
that,
had
success
people
stories.
we have had people from Aggie who have come on, who have gone on to do great things. They've worked with Nuno at UMass Amherst.
So are guests word of mouth? Like, has there ever been where there's a guest and then they say, hey, I went on this great show, you should do it? Or do you find the talent? Do
Glenn
you
and I find them.
Yeah.
Or lately, I've had people calling me, Mallory.
You have a wait list?
Yes, Glenn says we have that's what Glenn calls it, our wait list.
That's great. You're popular. That's great.
They call and Glenn says, Glenn is like feeling them out, and Glenn said, oh yes, I'm sure my brother would be interested. And they're here.
That's amazing.
Have we got any pictures of cats up there?
I think so.
Oh.
Yes, there. Who is that cat up
It
there?
was my mom's cat, our mom's cat. Her name was Sugar, and my mom volunteered at the Fall River Community Soup Kitchen from 1980 until, I would say, 2005. And she brought this character home,
Oh my.
and she was a love.
She's so sweet. She looks so fluffy.
Yes,
I want
she
to
was a Maine Coon.
pick her up and
She was
hug her.
half Maine
Coon
Coon.
and half calico.
I like it.
And she's
Oh, who's this?
This is Mickey. Mickey was, it's a funny story, that Mickey was rescued by Brian and me from a woman in Fairhaven who was relinquishing the cat because this was her mom's cat, and her mom was going to a nursing home.
Nursing home.
Oh,
Now, her mom would drive to McDonald's every day and feed the cat a quarter of a cheeseburger.
a nice sophisticated palate for the
Yes.
cat.
And when I wrote about that in the newspaper, someone at the Standard Times, someone called me, and she says, I work at McDonald's. She says,
knew the cat?
that's the cat. She said, that came to our outside
Like
of our window and would come in with
my
the
goodness.
owner and look, and Mickey would get a
So
piece of cheeseburger.
She took Mickey. She took her out.
She did.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
And
amazing.
Mickey became quite a celebrity.
I'm liking cheeseburgers.
Oh, this is Rosie. We rescued her from a couple in Exeter, Rhode Island, who was downsizing. They were moving from their house into an apartment.
I like the name
And
Rosie.
they had a bunch of cats, like 5 cats, and Rosie was the little one who didn't bother with anybody because she was always picked on.
Aw.
So
But my
we
mother
took
loved
her.
her.
Yeah.
We took pretty good care of her.
Poor Rosie. She probably very much enjoyed being, maybe a little
Yes.
So
solo
tell us
attention.
about your friend. She's a house pet.
Yes, absolutely. And, she's got jackets and sweaters and stuff because she has trouble keeping herself warm in the winter months. She is just as sweet as can be, really. I mean it. If you're on the
They are
couch,
a lovable breed.
they're so lovely. She just wants like a fuzzy blanket. If you put a fuzzy blanket on the couch, she will sit there on it. She likes how it feels, and she's so sweet. She likes my oldest son during COVID. So we got her during COVID, and he was home doing hybrid learning, and he would be at his desk on the computer as they would kind of Zoom in or whatever,
Yeah.
Google Classroom. And he would just have her. She was so tiny. She was like this big. And she's still rather small, but he would just have her sitting on his lap and kind of show her to the camera, and everybody knew who Dottie was, all the kids. And then she would sit in like a little bed next to him while he did whatever all day long, remoting in about 3 days a week. So she's really bonded with him. She goes on walks. She likes when it's warmer out, we'll take her and go pick up the kids with Dottie, in tow, and she's good in the car. Like, she's just one of us. We've traveled with her. We've taken her to New York, and she just likes to be with us. So she's just done lovely. She's very easy to please, and she likes to eat.
And I bet the kids love her.
They do. She's small and just petite, and they like that they can kind of pick her up and feel secure. And she's really just the best. I had a puggle. I had a dog. He passed away maybe 1 year into my job here in Swansea. And he was older. He was about 13, so lived a decent life. And we had her, and I'm really glad that we did, because it gave us some distraction, because it's very, very difficult losing a pet. I don't think anything really prepares you for it. And it was really sad. But we were happy to have Dottie, and I think it meant the world to my kids.
I've done several chapters in my book
Yes.
on grief issues with animals. We've had people on the show here.
I think that's so important.
It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, you have some people who don't think, oh, it's just a pet, it's just a whatever. No, it's a part of I'm one of those that views it as part of your family, and you live with that. That pet is with you every day, and when they're not there, you feel that. That's a hole, that's a vacancy. It's like having a table set and there's an empty seat.
Recently, Mallory had a gentleman from Acushnet, from Fairhaven.
Yes, the animal control.
The animal control officer,
Terry Cripps.
Terry Cripps, came, and we were talking about the importance for families. Everything is getting to be so expensive, and a lot of families cannot afford pet care,
Right.
or food or whatever. And Terry talked for about a half an hour. We talked the whole show about what they were doing in Fairhaven to
Ameliorate that?
and I'm thinking ahead to the number of elderly people who have to relinquish their pet because they can't afford it.
So
And
sad.
Terry has gone to make outstanding endeavor to acquire pet food and veterinary
Resources,
cares
yes.
and other resources to keep pets at home.
Yeah, I think that's a number one worthy endeavor. Something we also do here in Swansea. We have a lot of food. So the people in Swansea are so generous.
They are.
Just so generous in every aspect of that. Generous with their time. We talk a lot about volunteers in the town. Our shelter happens to have quite a bit of volunteers from both Somerset and Swansea, but also I've been there just talking to Lisa about town business, and people just show up and drop
They
off
do.
donations. Or if somebody close to them passes away, a lot of times they'll do a donation
Yes.
in their honor or memory, which is very special. The Burger King, which has a grand opening next weekend, is giving the town a $1,000 donation to the animal
I
shelter.
heard that.
Which is very special, and we thank people for that. But if anyone's struggling, there are some resources available for pet food all the time at the animal shelter. So call Lisa and find out.
Before we wrap up, I have to mention one guest who passed away, Judy Gates.
Loved her.
Judy Gates was one of my dearest friends. She was an artist and a breeder of some of the world's most fabulous Cavalier King Charles
beautiful
Spaniels.
dogs.
And I wore these socks with my ice cream socks because Judy loved to come to the studio and Judy loved to travel over to the ice cream barn. So we're celebrating Judy's ice cream socks.
Oh, what a special tribute.
Judy was one of our most dearest friends.
Aw.
We've had
Nice way
so
to
much fun with you today.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
thank
thank
you
you,
for coming.
sister. So
I
unexpected.
am so
Such a
honored
surprise.
to have you
Ah,
and to meet you.
Well,
we've only met like
On Zoom.
once on Zoom,
Yes.
or at meetings very quickly.
yes, very quick. Well, I first
I am
thank
very
you so
honored
much.
to have you.
Oh no, the privilege is mine, I assure you. This was such a surprise because I didn't think I'd be on the show, but thank you so much. It's been so nice
We've
to
had
get to
fun.
Yes, to get to know
And
you.
we'll do it again.
I want to meet one of the pets that comes on here.
We will.
Maybe not a
Yes.
snake or a tarantula. I'll just
We won't do
Yeah.
tarantulas or snakes. Okay.
me a dog or a cat.
And
Well, we've wrapped up our 100th episode of Fur, Fins, and Feathers, and we've had a fabulous afternoon. Thanks, everybody, and keep viewing us.